most time in them late hours. Why you look Mandingo? Greetings.
Ujambo, greetings, Muta. Here we are in London.
Yeah, last night. Very style, really.
Flavor.
FLAV. Last night we did on Flavor with Mandingo. He have a program on a station named Flavor. And yo, we are going. Yes. All right. So, will I say last night we did on
Flavor Radio,
Mandingo program, and it was like not them hours here, a little earlier than them hours here. So, Mandingo is a man we always call in when the program nearly done. Him there now, so we can talk, have a conversation. Yellow.
Let me clarify. A lot of times I call earlier, but I have to be waiting on the operator, and sometimes the operator have me holding, and sometimes the operator does not answer. So it's not that I deliberately call late, but that is the situation for people.
All right. You know, usually we call upon things that are going on in England because sometimes we don't really are reading Guardians and all them things. We really read them still, but and watch BBC, but we like to hear from one of us who can tell we another level. Yes. We have to tell you, say, we want to hear another level. That is really what we are looking for, another level from ones and ones who live on the ground. So that is really why I hold up a time we want to hear where are going in England. See? So now that we're in England with the eye now, tell me where are going in England.
Yes, well, what is going on in England is a continuation of the racism that has faced African people ever since British imperialism invaded our African motherland and brought our ancestors as prisoners of war to the Caribbean and elsewhere. And the British Empire is the biggest empire in history, which means that they committed the biggest genocidal Holocaust murders. And up to now, they have not been brought to justice. And whenever we as Africans talk about reparations, they don't want to deal with the issue of reparations. Yet, European Jews have gotten reparations, and even Japanese and many others have gotten reparations. But when it comes on to our African race, they don't want to give us reparations. But reparations, as Marcus Garvey Jr., the son of Marcus Garvey, who was my physics teacher at Kingston Technical, and who greatly inspired myself and Mutabaruka and others at Kingston Technical, Stocky Smith and others, to be strong Pan-Africanists, has always said that reparations is our right, and we have to acquire the necessary military and economic power to get reparations, because our enemies will not pay reparations willingly. As his father said, power is the only argument that satisfies man, because man is not moved by prayer, petitions, and begging and that type of thing. Power is the only argument, and a race without authority and power is a race without respect. So we understand what Marcus Garvey Jr. and his father said, that we as Africans, for us to get our rights, we have to acquire the necessary economic and military power to force those who transgress against our ancestors and us in this time to pay for what they have done to our people. And of course, we know in every war situation, the fight is always on two fronts. There are the external enemies who we know, be they Arab Muslims or European Christians, for example. And there are always the traitors. This is so in every race. But as an African from Jamaica, I'm talking about our race. So the internal enemies are always the traitors that we have to be fighting against to destroy as we fight against their masters, the external enemies. And Muta, I'm so glad that you spoke about religion, whereby we have Africans who they are so mentally enslaved, whereby they put the religion of our racist enemies before the interests of their race. So,
yes, we want to come forward to Mandingo, but we have to take a break. Right, so, but we still want him to tell you what we are going in England. You understand? Yes, so we want to take the break and come forward. Your turn, DJ Kamar. Yes, we're talking to Mandingo, and as we say, we are broadcast live from London, England, on Special One Radio. Yes, Mandingo.
Yes, before I just gonna finish off with the Arab thing. The thing about it is that whenever Africans put their foreign religions before their race, they are automatically traitors. So you find Africans who are Muslims put Islam and put their Arab co-religionists before other Africans. And Africans who are Christians, they do the same thing. They put their Christianity before. No one was born Christian or Muslim. And what the Arabs and Europeans have done is that they have used their Christian and Islamic religions to culturally manipulate and control African people. So for example, Christian name, there's no such thing as a Christian name. It's European names. Cultural imperialism using religion. Muslim name, there's no such thing as a Muslim name. There are Arab names. Muta was talking about this earlier. So you have Africans getting rid of their African names and taking European names and Arab names under the guise of being Christian or Muslim. We must practice our African religions, be it voodoo or whatever, whereby we retain our cultural and mental identity as Africans. Because religion of the racist enemies is a mental tool of enslavement for our people. And finally, where that is concerned, Gaddafi is no leader for me as an African, as a Marcus Garvey man, a Pan-Africanist. Gaddafi, like Nasser, who was his idol, was a Pan-Arabist. And when the other Arabs refused for him to succeed as Nasser's successor, as the #1 Pan-Arabist, he turned to our African people to try to use our people. And his intention, just like the Europeans, their rivals, was to control and conquer Africa. A lot of the jihadist groups in Nigeria and elsewhere in Africa were armed by Gaddafi. And so the rivalry between these Europeans and these Arabs is over who should control our African motherland. And we who are Pan-Africanists will not allow these non-Africans to control our thing. Can you imagine you have more Arabs in North Africa than in Arabia? How did they get there? Conquest, enslavement of our ancestors, etc. And finally, go on YouTube and check out the Arab slave trade by Marcus Garvey Jr., Muta and I's teacher at Kingston Technical High School, where you will get a full history of what Arab, Muslims, European Christians, and Jewish enslavers, all three of them have done to our African people. And they all owe us reparations. Talking about England right now, Britain, the main problem is that the vast majority of our youths are in a state of serious mental confusion and also in a state whereby, because of this mental confusion, because of the racist educational system, they have low self-esteem. And part of the result of this is the large amounts of fatal stabbings of African youths, of other African youths. Now, some of our African youths are good. Not all of them are bad, but a lot of them are in need of serious help because they have been destructive to our African community. And one of the reasons for that is that since Margaret Thatcher got rid of the youth clubs that used to be able to engage our youths in constructive activities, both boys and girls, that no longer exists. Duke Basie is agreeing with because he knows this is true. When we used to have the youth clubs that could engage our young African boys and girls in England and so on, there was not this epidemic of internal violence by our youths. Yes, there was some violence, but not on the scale as we have it. Because the parents do not have time to cater and to guide and direct their youths. And the youth clubs used to fulfill that role. And some of these youth clubs were run by some of our people. So there were positive models where that is concerned. So this is a very serious problem. And then there's the other problem of police who are racist, who attack, injure, and in some cases, some of our youths die, whether they are boys or girls, as a result of police brutality. We had Chris Carver just over a year ago who was shot. He was totally unarmed, shot dead, one shot in the head. He was posing no threat. He was surrounded by the police and he was killed. The police guy who did that because of pressure by our community is facing charges of murder. But many of our people, men and women, boys and girls, we remember Joy Gardner in North London who was killed in front of her little infant son. We remember these things. And my brethren Anthony Lemard, Crumpet from Harlesden, who the police claimed choked on his own vomit. How did he choke on his so-called own vomit? Because they choked him. There are countless examples of this type of racist thing, and the police have gotten off where that is concerned. And do you know that when that police guy was charged for, he's going to face charge for the murder of Chris Carver in Streatham, that the armed police in London went on strike saying that they are not going to carry out their armed duties because one of their number has been charged with the murder of Chris Carver. So you see, it has been a culture of racist impunity where the police are supposed to be able to kill and get away with it. Mark Duggan in Tottenham, Broadwater Farm area, he posed no threat, he had nothing on him, and yet he was shot and killed. And the people rose up. And they rose up because the local MP at the time, David Lammy, he did not attend to the cries and needs of the people at the time. And so the people revolted. And yet he was the MP for the area. And I see whereby David Lammy is more interested in what is going on in Palestine, supporting the Israelis, than he is in seeing about the racism that has killed and has made life very hard for our African people in Britain. It's a very, very serious problem. Muta, you have been coming here for many, many years, but so you know that some of the things that you hear that I'm talking about, you are familiar with. And you said something which is true. While you listen to BBC, read The Guardian and these papers and that type of thing, you read them with reservations and you scrutinize them because you know they only push their own interests. They hide the news that they want to hide from our people and promote the lies that they want to promote. I remember Marcus Garvey Jr. said that the biggest propagandists in history to give false propaganda are the British, and that the BBC is their biggest organ of public disinformation. Marcus Garvey Jr. told me and others that at Kingston Technical High School in the 60s before I came to this country. So I was aware of the role. And Muta, you know, for years we growing up in Jamaica, every 8 o'clock, what we used to hear in the morning, 8 o'clock, BBC, World News. And so many of our people swore anything they heard on the 8 o'clock, BBC, World News at 8 o'clock Jamaica time, they believe that it was gospel. And if you and I as Africans told them the truth, they say, no, because the BBC never said that. How foolish.
Yes.
Do you expect your enemy to tell the truth?
Yeah, well, we work it out and find out, say, a lot of these news that come out is not to tell the people them the truth, it's to make the side that these people is weak. You know, it's a propaganda machine, it is, to maintain a certain position. You understand? And when you look, you see the position is being saved. You know, one thing that just happened the other day is to make mention of the first time this war started with the Palestinian and the Israeli them. We hear of some of the Palestinian them chopping off children head,
beheading,
and put them in cage and light them a fire. We hear that, and for about a week it a go on. And all you could hear upon the news, even the President of America mention it. And not even couple weeks, you know, more than a week or 2-3 weeks ago, some people do some investigation in it and say, no go so. There's no baby down there. We have no head and I get chopped up and them things there. Tell me and say, put me here, the big guys them, I mention it. And me and say, they mean say, them could have so brazen to tell the world, say this happen, and that give the people them get more anger and angry against the Palestinian them. When them look on them TV and hear man and say, children were burned in cage. It's like the time when them go Iraq and tell you say weapons of mass destruction. And Saddam Hussein, that Saddam Hussein, Colin Powell, Chief of Staff, say I show graphic pictures of how the Saddam Hussein government have moved them weapons of mass destruction. That when you see them do it, you can't deny it, say no go so. Everybody say, but we see there, see Colin Powell show how they move the things them and them good this and good that. And when you hear from the show, it's lie. No go so. If you tell the people them, just now man they say, you really believe some man was a man? So say, yes, them will see it on the TV. Where you see it? American imperialism, propaganda machinery at work. So when we look now, and we say, really and truly, why would I say, we don't know what we are saying? Because I'm looking at Haiti and see the same thing happen with Haiti too. Same thing, you can't tell nobody, even the government of Jamaica now let Haitian people come find refuge in Haiti. Imagine that. Them have all sorts of laws and regulations where I show you say, yeah. And the man, them say one of the boat them, the captain of the boat is a repeat offender to Jamaican waters by coming there continuously with refugees or people. In other words, they must say, instigate and insinuate, say, maybe these people was bringing in things like guns and all these things. The gun them done in Jamaica already, you know. You have some gun in Jamaica we not use yet, you know. But they had 3-4 years ago, and it not used yet. And you hear the Minister of National Security say 200 guns are coming in per month. I mean, notice from the year start, them not find 200 guns. Maybe them pick up them thing now and find even more. But from man said that years ago, him said that, you know. Him say years ago, a little before the COVID, him say 200 guns is intelligence. You hear them call it intelligence. That means you can't deny it. It's most true.
And it is lies.
Them say intelligence, them say 200 guns is coming in the country every month. And from that time till now, me never hear them find 400 guns in that 6 weeks yet, 6 months yet. But me know say the gun them dead there. So if him know, for intelligence, tell him say 200 gonna come in per month. How come him not get 199 out of them?
And him know.
And him know, because tell him not know, him say him intelligent. Him never say, I believe
Him say him intelligent.
that Jesus Christ is coming on the earth. And you say, you believe that? No, go so.
Him say him know.
Him say him know. And we must trust them, because them is the people them who we look to for guide and protect the democracy of the country and them things there. So.
But him now recover them.
I want to talk to you about something. Recently, we see it fly out of me. It fly out of me. I made a while ago and come out of me. In something in England, the English, the stabbing up thing,
Yes.
The stabbing up thing is long time a year ago. I mean before COVID, we were talking about.
Yes.
Good. All right. What is it that all right? We are a man in a Jamaica shoot a man. And it's either revenge or a man have something for him and him just says him want it and the man not give man. So it's like gang war, you know, man just fire shot after man because they want to kill one man, just like the Israeli them. Them say 4 men have play domino or a bar and 1 man in there is the man will trouble them. And them just park on a bike and fire shot in there. Most of the time, the 3 man them with the 666 dead and the 1 man who them want to kill get away. You understand? It's like it's pillion and rider. Most of the pillion get dead quicker than the rider. So when I say this, now, what is it that is driving these black youth, come up and say black youth, to really continue this thing? Because it's still in America, it's still in England. Yeah, so why is it so widespread that you just a pass, you try to stop man and run, God? Tell me.
As I mentioned, with the closure of the youth clubs by Margaret Thatcher in the 1980s, it can be traced, as I said, things used to happen before in the 60s and 70s, but in the 1980s, I as a journalist and historian can tell you that with the closure of the youth clubs and no adequate outlets for the youths, in the 1980s onwards to now, the youths without direction and so on, a lot of them became manipulated by older members of the community who are into criminality and into what they call post-code rivalry. So in other words, a youths from Wood Green, for example, just argument's sake, would say that they are in war with youths from Tottenham because they are different areas. Youths from Peckham would be at war with youths from Brixton. You even have a situation where parts of Brixton, some of the youths are at war with other youths in other parts of Brixton. That type of situation you find all over. Over in Halls and Stonebridge, St. Raphael's Estate, you find that youths, for example, at Church Road in Halsden are at war with youths in Stonebridge because those youths are from Stonebridge. And youths from St. Raphael's Estate, I'm just calling some names as example, this type of thing, and it happens in Birmingham too and so on, And a lot used to happen like that in Manchester, that they call Manchester Gunchester. There was that situation that a lot of the youths in different areas, Masai, Cheetah Mill, and that type of thing. And what it is that the only solution to this type of thing is that the African adults, parents and so on, we have to engage with our youths and get our youths together in community events to create a harmonious way of living, because we cannot ignore our youths. They are our youths. And it is not in the interest of the police, and it is not the duty of non-Africans to see about the problems of violence of our youths. They are not interested. It's not their business. The Indians see about their affairs. The Chinese see about their affairs. The English see about their affairs. It is us as African parents in Britain to see about our youths, and we have to engage with them. Some of our adults will say, boy, I don't want to, boy, I'm afraid to talk to them youths and thing. But if you are afraid to engage and so on with your youths, then there is no hope, and it's further destruction in our community. I and other Africans who are conscious of this responsibility always do as much as we can to engage with our youths. Because we cannot adopt a standoff attitude, because what affects our youths affects us.
Wait, let me ask you something, because I see something since I come on here, so, and I'm a bridge and I observe it, because we are drive through the town, all right. We know, say, when Jamaican come on foreign, them work 3 times harder than when them there Jamaica. So when them say Jamaican lazy, not even Jamaican black people lazy, not no go so. There's something that is happening in Jamaica that people want to come to these places to work. And even though sometimes them life is not better in these places, as I saw going around the town, them still prefer the coal and the white people them are mixed up with, and just them I get angry with one another still. No. Why may I say that? Me have a version I look when I observe it. Most Jamaican, you have to tell me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
Yeah. Most Jamaican, where I say up here so, the woman them is either having a hairdressing parlor, or the man them have a food shop. All right. The other nation them when we look on, like the Chinese them.
Yes, Indians.
Them own them shop. Them own them shop. And them not necessarily in a food neither. But them in a food too, because everybody yam. Yeah. The Kurds them, let me see. Them have them front shop, and we know say a front shop give me information where we get say. Them use the shop as front for deal with certain things. But when you look in at the shop, it's like a supermarket. You can't get anything you want in at the shop. I'll know that when we done all that program, we go there, you see them open. And we know why them open so late too.
24 hours.
Yeah, all right now. White people control the place. And obviously white people have the long stretch. You know, the 100 yard, 100 meter, whatever they call it. When white people reach on the front, we just start the race, which is that me I say up here. So, what is it that is causing, in England, me I talk, because it's supposed to be a land of opportunities, right? And where people come here, all over, the African them from Africa, the Indian them from India. And not to mention the Indian them, the Prime Minister right now is an Indian, right? In a white man country, the Prime Minister is an Indian. What is it that is driving black people from getting a piece of the pie, I can't tell them to see when them in their yard. Not only Jamaica, no, but I talk about especially Jamaica. Because I talk to someone and them say, boy, you have 20 years, me there, 30 years. And them condition, when me did come say originally, are the same condition them in. But them come to England to make it. Right? And you have man that say, white people. It's not only black people get discriminated against in England. Me see that. But yet still the other people them look like them are pushed further. But the black people them is in the same position. I mean, I tell you, say, most of my brethren them, when me just start come to England, when me used to them in a Brixton, me see them just a while ago we a drive street, and me say, boy, I look how them gentrify Brixton. One time you could have come down and you get all this and get all that. No, when in the bright, it come like Harlem. One time I pay black people, I walk up and down in Harlem.
Yes.
In a middle night. In a middle night, you see, white people. All right, we will take a break and come forward. Yeah, the question still there.
Yeah.
Why is it that my brethren them, after them run left Jamaica, run left them family, come on here, so because them say them have to leave Jamaica because things too hard in Jamaica. Why is it me come to England and see them same brethren there? From in the 80s when me just start come here. When me look on them still not own no house. Some of them still not have no job. The daughter them look like them look little better than the man them. Because
not much better.
The woman them have some hairdressing parlor. Because right now hairdressing that do the thing. Black woman don't like them ear. More than not like certain man, but I'm say it on the radio all the while. The black woman greatest problem is them ear. Every year, every week, them change them ear and them have ear for 7 days a week and all them something there. Them eyelash, them eyebrow, everything falls a certain way. But them have a business outside. Not care what you want to say, them have a business. And you can look on the woman them and see say, them more progressive in them ways. But the man them there, so them not own nothing. I'm not talking about my brethren them too, you know. How is it that possible that you left Jamaica 30 years, 20 years ago, and you talk about you go England, right? And you come here so, are you not better off than me down at Jamaica, Rasta? Explain that to me, yeah.
First of all, Muta, if you do not have a plan, it means that you plan to fail, and you must fail. And this is one of the major reasons in answer to what you're asking. A lot of them come and say they left Jamaica and other places in Africa and the Caribbean, saying they want better, but wanting better means that you have to have a plan as to how to get better. Just wanting and wishing is never a solution. You must have a plan. And most of them, if you ask them, what plans have you made to acquire economic wealth and strength? They cannot tell you. I tell you that straight. After this program, you're going to ask them. Ask them, what plans have you made to acquire economic power? Because this is what Marcus Garvey said that we should say earlier. We must empower ourselves economically. They don't. In terms of the women, last night I was in Harlesden and I heard a sister, Jamaican, boasting to a brethren that you see me, I don't depend on no man, you know. Because you see this wig where me have on, and you know so the wig is European or Indian wig.
Yeah.
A 260 odd pound me buy it for you know. You see that mentality, I just use an example. She, like many others, using money to buy the wig and earpiece of non-African people who hate us and that type of thing. That type of female is not interested in buying books.
Yeah, but hold on the Mandingo. Hold on the Mandingo. I not going to really it out that way, listen. No, but everybody now go conscious to go buy books and them things.
No,
most people want a better life.
Yes.
So them want a house, them want a family, them want to know so them can buy food. And me I talk about African this and African that, you know. But you have people say all them want is a life where them can live happy with them family and buy food and them wig and them short dress and all them something there. Alright. So we could have cost them from now till Dying Kingdom come. The daughter them a look at life for themselves. We miss more than the man them. So when we are talking about now, how come the woman them look more progressive, and you start to say, yeah, but them are we foreign people, we got them thing there.
Some.
Yeah, me know what we say.
Some, because
yeah, but
I
me know
was never
some.
generalized.
No, me know say some, you know, but if you go start tell me now, say, well, the woman them more progressive because them are wear 200 pound wig, but you say the wig come from this and this and that. We can't eat all that, say that, you know. But you see them same one.
And it's true.
Them picnic, they are Jamaica, and them are send 100 pound, go give them picnic, to go to school and college and them things. While the man, they are so, and all him can do is look for breed and next woman or so. Or, he might do some little thing on the corner, them way there. Me not say woman not do it, you know. But me say, to me, traveling down to the whole week, me see most of that, so, you have to tell me about the man them. And you see, you gone to the woman them now and start to say, yeah, the woman them are wear wig. I say that every day. Because I see that true. But that still don't negate the fact that the man them up here and do have a plan, as they say.
Yes.
Yeah, them do have a plan.
Yes.
So them up here so and I deal with it. So would I like find out now. Alright, so them do have a plan.
And so that's the result of not having a plan.
Yes.
So they fall victim to that type of oppression that they face because they don't have a plan.
So you see now, the woman who opened her Falls Hair Salon by serving up some little money over there, she have a Falls Hair Salon. And me not like Falls Hair. You would have prefer say, boy, let go that, you know. So what should you do?
No, I am not saying to let go that. Because the point of the matter is, the truth of the matter is that the false here things and so that are bought from Indians and others who
we know that, but
things.
it help she.
See?
When she buy them for $100 from the Indian, them, she come back and tell for $200 and she can send $50 go to Jamaica and help her man to go buy some ganja with and then have her house said where she can pay rent. Me would prefer no say me can pay my rent with something where you and me a claim say, why all black people have built up this and black? Of course, black people, a long time black people have built it up. But me I say now, you have unconscious people. When we could have talked more about black consciousness, them now go change. Them will bleach till bleach come.
Yes, some will not change, but some will change.
But at them you
some
talk.
will change.
At them you talk. Them not allowing them picnic to suffer. Them want a house. And how them get it? Them never go thief. Them never go sell them body. And me talk about when me hear, you know, when me talk to them, you know. You have some woman with them look the weirdest way, you know. False, this and color, it's like, them now go make you go deal with them too. You have like a pretty talk to them. I say them a party. And through them just a certain way, if you say, through them just a certain way, them are going to sleep with you. Them have them integrity still. And it's them girl, they know what me I say, boy, but look how them I see a whole heap of them line up. I go through Brixton a while ago and I don't remember which part else we I drive. And I say, but Irons, oh, so much falls here, please. I said, that's I'm looking there. A pure woman. You know, see it. And round on the other side now, I see a man a come down the road and, you know, them really that me I say, oh, what is? It look like them have a thing against the black man up here now and the black man was gone. And then the black woman was going with that little thing. And look how much she said, I don't have Jamaica. You know much of them coming at the shop the other day. And I tell me, say, you know, say, me in Jamaica the other day, I hear you on the radio, but me never see it yet. And when me look on the girl, you know, Rasta, she look like she work in a bank. I don't know bank she work in a, but she have her things. And you can't come talk to her in a way. She have her things. Me don't know which man up here so have anything where you can't come talk nowhere.
Well, you do have some man, because I remember you mentioned that in terms of the food shop, most of the food shops is a man them who own the food shop thing then. The ear thing then. The ear thing is with our women. But most of the food shops, so you have some of our man them who have food shops and other kind of shops too.
Yeah, you remember the youth them where you come down a barber shop, them the lab.
Yes, exactly.
All right.
Exactly why I brought
tomorrow
yes.
now.
Yes.
On the stepping razor.
Yes.
Right? We are going to interview a brethren where we meet named Basil. Him have 6 bookshop. Well, it's not even bookshop again. It's book. When we go
and herbal thing and so.
Sweet shop. Sweet shop. Him have everything natural.
Holistic.
This natural, holistic, this and him have vegan restaurant, right? And I say, boy, I have to put you up on the radio because he's one of a million. Yeah. He's one of a million, brethren. Because the 6 store them, the 5 store them when I go, since we come here, so. And him own the 5 store them and them in a different places in England, so. Oh, him could have do that in all the madness and craziness we are going.
Because he has a plan. And this person what you're talking about.
You think say he left Jamaica I think about a bookstore?
No, he did not.
You think he left for open a vegan restaurant?
Not initially, but he had the ambition that he wanted to do well in life.
All of them come out with that. All of them come out with that.
Who you talking about is Basil, who I know from when Yes, right? He started from a unit in Eurolink in Brixton, expanded to the Pempamsi in Brixton Hill, and then the others like in Harlesden and Walthamstow and elsewhere. So I know that. From Manchester came with that ambition.
So why is 1 out of a million, Mandingo? Why is 1 out of a million, Rasta? When me come say, and you know why me hurt about it? Because that's some man when me know from Jamaica.
Well, there's another brother.
Some man when I'm my age.
But there's another brother, for example, from Brixton, who has a 24-hour food shop in Brixton. He also has a food place in Croydon and also a place where can be rented out to have events for our community, which is important because most of the times when our people, as African people, want to have family or whatever events, we have to be hiring from non-African people. So that thing by that brother, having a place in Croydon rent, is an example of the direction where we need more of our people, man and woman, to do. And as you say, some of them are stagnant, not going anywhere, but at the same time, we support those who are progressive, and we have to get our people to practice that Marcus Garvey thing of supporting and buying from our own, because there's also the mentality, self-hatred mentality, that a lot of our people do not like to support our other people who have businesses. They would rather go to non-Africans and give them their money than our own thing. And that is something that cannot be disregarded because it is true. So we applaud those, and we hope to help to increase their numbers by supporting them and that type of situation. And a thing that I must put again is in terms of a sense of values. I have seen where a lot of our African parents in England, for example, whenever they choose to be buying things for their children here, they tend to be buying flippant things rather than things that would engage their youths to put them on a more progressive path. The reason why I'm saying that, Richie Sunak, you mentioned him, Indian, Hindu,
hold on, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to take a break and come forward. This is the cutting edge coming to you from London, England. Yes, we're there with you. Yes, we're there, yo. Yes, we're there with you on the cutting edge. We are talking about the position where black people, especially those who come from Caribbean, I don't say Jamaica specifically, because most of the ones them who me get linked with over the past week are really Jamaicans, right? All right. So this person, you know, what is your name?
Exodus.
You run for Jamaica, Exodus. Right.
After.
All right. So him is Exodus, and him bring cross a point, you know, where whenever they examine, and him have examine. So him say now, the reason why the women them have advantage, I'm going to tell you. All right. Go right to the mic.
Yes, sir. Greetings, one and all. Give thanks, Brother Muta, to Abinai, and all the brethren them, Brother Mandingo, Tamodi, and Basic. From my perspective, I believe that the woman them in, the females them rather, in the UK have a outset in life, an advantage over Englishmen in terms that they are the actual breadwinner. Bless the woman them and them bring we into this world. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here. So in England, the advantage for the females them working with the councils that the woman them have or gain council residence from the government in the good old days, as the I would know. If you have 2 or 3 kids, you go to the council, you get a council property. And the females, them, to be fair to them advance. Them go to university, them struggle with the kids, them make sure so the kids them go decent school and move on to university. And most of the man, them, female, them have 2 or 3 kids, and then for some reason, in the workout, relationship, in the workout with female, and you find it, say, a big 65-year-old man, 70-year-old man, I walk up and down a plot up in mirror, wear some short jeans.
Yeah, but wait, the man them again, you know. Yeah. You talk about the woman them, the reason why the woman them advance. And I say, one of the reasons them is that the government secure the woman because she's the one who will look about the children them.
Of course, and it's not just for black woman.
No, we're not
female.
We know them now going to defend black woman and defend the white woman. We don't bring in the white woman in the night, man. We are talking about Caribbean people like you and me and black woman were there, so that when them come up here, so it looked to me like the woman them are make more advanced, and you are give me a reason why. Yes.
Of course, because of the educational facilities, they make use of it. They get themselves together, and they are actual breadwinners. They work, save, go to university, and advance themselves in the work.
That me did I say originally.
Them advance themselves.
Say the woman them make a move, and the man them say, me see man my age, brethren, in this week, yeah. Me see man my age in this week, yeah. When me know from, all the man say know me granny. Know me granny to her thing, from Jonestown. You know what she had me left Jonestown, Rasta? And a man, another man, me don't know where me know him from, but him say him know me, right? And me I say, the man almost my age, and him not look no different. When I say no different, like I look older than me too. But really and truly, me not see what is it that him come to England to do. Mandingo say you have to come with a plan. I don't know if every man will come up here they actually know where him going to do. But when him come up here and see him just take a thing and run with it.
Yeah.
That's why I will talk to the bridging tomorrow. Say, him look like him just take a thing and just run with it and it'll work for him. What Mandingo say?
You must have a plan. And that is why I say, because without a plan, it means you plan to fail. I said that earlier, and that is so. And in terms of the woman, in terms of you have to live somewhere. Most of the women are able to get ahead on the housing market and so on, because having the children, that qualifies them to have the council flats. When they started to sell off the council flats and so at reduced prices and so, because they were the ones who were the tenants in the council flats, they got that kind of blight, which was more, because very few men qualified for that, because very few men were the ones who had custody of their children. And this is what happened. So I am pointing out the economic truth and reality of how the women, to a larger extent, were able to improve themselves in terms of owning property. I am not asking an individual this. This is something that I know and others who know how this place run is the so it go, right? And next point that I'm saying also, which is important, I was mentioning Rishi Sunak. The sad truth, because to get ahead, we have to acknowledge the good and also the bad. No excuses. I have seen where a lot of our African mothers and fathers, instead of spending money to send their children to good schools or to have private lessons to increase their educational advancement, would rather fritter the money away on other things.
Like false here.
Not just false here. The man them and jewelry and all kind of thing.
Yes.
No partial, because both are involved. Thing. While what I know, not guess, what I know is that the Chinese and Indians, for example, spend a lot of money and sacrifice to see that their children get a good education by sending them to good schools, paying money to get private tuition so that they are successful educationally. And at the same time, I have seen where too many of our African parents refuse to spend money to spend for the educational advancement of their children, both men and women. This is something I am not asking any individual about. This is something that I, Mandingo, know personally, because I've seen it. And I teach informally different subjects and so, given my educational background and thing. So I am involved in that type of thing. So I know exactly when I say that. So people like the Rishi Sunaks and so on, they get ahead. A prime example, in the 60s and 70s, we started to see, for example, on TV and radio, a few of our African men and women as presenters and producers and that type of thing. But what I've noticed, you see, from the 1980s onwards, especially now, a lot of these positions in radio and TV, public imagery now, where you can see, and in other fields where you don't see publicly, is now Indians you're seeing, men and women, in those jobs, on TV and radio, that used to be occupied by African men and women. as newsreaders and things. That's a reality.
Yes, this is the cutting edge. We are delving at some English vibes, yeah, you know. We delve. It's a serious thing, you know.
Yes.
Yes, it's good that we're here in England. So here we're going to do now. We're going to take the last break and come forward. And you know, so we're going there again. 2 o'clock, Kingston time, and 7 o'clock, London time, with the stepping razor. So it come like in England, we now get the 2 programs them in a one day.
Yes.
You understand?
Literally.
And when me done and so now, me have to go drive an hour or so to go sleep and get up again to come to the next program. So want to see with me and do with me. If me so Joe's a little more. But yes, this is the cutting edge on RFM. Last break. Yes, me I say you are so bold. Sweating in the cold. We have some conversation that go on here so because it's a serious thing. It's a serious thing in this land of opportunity and bliss here. So Mandingo, did I say something? Yes, Mandingo.
Yes. Whenever you live in a society as an African man, and we talk in England now, Britain, you must study the society that you live in. Because if you do not study and understand how the society operates and works, you will be a loser and a sufferer. The reason why I'm saying that is that when I came here as a Jamaica civil engineering government scholarship winner from Kingston Technical to this country, one of the things that I noticed, I already knew from before that African men and women face racist attacks. But the African man is the one who is most feared by the European racist male. Feel most threatened by the African man as the warrior, generally speaking, and soldier. So they always try to play this divide and rule thing. And one of the things that I have always told African men in this country to do is that always try and have a place of your own. If it is even a one room, but it must be your home. Why does Mandingo say that African men must always strive and have a place of their own, even if it starts with a one room or a rent? Because the way the society works, if you give up your one room or your place to go and live with a woman who you say you love, and even when she has a lot of children for you, whenever there is any quarrel or feud, she knows when she calls the racist police and the police come, you know who is going to be arrested and who is going to be asked, pack your bags and leave. It's not her. It is you, the man. I and I as man in this country know this. Right? And the women know this too. And not all of them, but a lot of them play on that. They know if there's any dispute, they just call the police, or you will come home one evening from work and you find your things in some bag outside the door. And you're the one who is going to be jailed. You're the one who is going to be told to leave. And one of the tricks that some women, I am saying some because not all women are bad, you know, is to get you as a man in a case of danger and vulnerability. They say to you, give up your place, give up your one room, give up where you're staying, and come and live with me because we have the children, or even if you don't have any children. And when you say, no, I'm not giving up my place, you know, because whenever anything happens, you're going to call the police and out I am. And you know one of the tricks that some men fall for, Muta and other listeners, when some of the women cleverly say to you, oh, the reason why you don't want to give up a place is because you want to carry a woman to your place. That is the generalship. I know this. And you see, the day you go give up your place, you see the change in the behavior. You see, once you know you no longer have a place that you want, if you are not in any argument, you just say, watch her. Don't hit her because I don't believe in beating up woman and so. You're not a woman can't agree. You have your place. You say, it's all right. And you gone to your yard. You see, when she knows you have given up your place because you fall for what she's saying about you only want have your place because you want to carry your whole heap of woman them there, whether it's so or not, you are totally in danger. I have seen this happen, Muta, to enough brethren who foolishly give up them places. Never give up your place as a man. And whenever you're doing anything with the woman, make sure that legally you are legally protected.
All right, rapper move. Yes. It's weird.
That can make what Muta see these men after 40 years in the same position because
yes. Because they have no place.
All right, so it come like we start to blame the woman now.
No, not blaming the woman. Not blaming the woman. Because I said to you, Muta, that the man, them must not give up their own place. I said that because of how the society is structured.
If you do that, the woman...
The vulnerability.
Yeah, the woman.
By some, yes.
What I am hearing is the hammer coming down on the woman.
That's not true, Muta.
Yes,
no.
That's what I hear.
That's not true.
The society
that's not true.
Backs the woman.
The society back the woman because of how the man stay.
Not all men, Muta, you're generalizing.
But not all women get help from the government. When I say to you,
a lot do.
No, yeah, a lot of man say opposite to what you say to. You know what I say? The woman have the children most of the time.
Yes.
The man gone about to make a farm and farm full. So the government set up a system for help the woman because she's more vulnerable than the man. And now when you are saying now that the woman take advantage of it and start behave certain way and start treat the man a certain way. So
wrong, Muta. The woman,
anyway,
the government did not. The government did not set up a system for the woman. The government set up a system that who has the children.
Yeah.
Who has the children.
So in most cases,
it just so happens that it is. But it's not that they set it that way.
Yeah, so
it's who has the children.
So the woman have it.
Yeah, in most cases.
Yeah, that's why I'm not talking about. That's why I talk about the woman have it. So if the woman have it and the man outless or now, and the woman start going away now, we start to now say, well, you see the woman and the woman and the woman, it become a problem. We have to move.
We never said that. We said the man must have him own place. We said the man must have him own place.
Stepping razor later. I said this is stepping razor later. This is all stepping razor like so later. That's what we're talking about. All right. We want to give thanks to the brethren who provide us with this studio here.
Tamodi.
For broadcast the show.
Tamodi,
yes. Special One Radio, that is what its name. We want to thank Duke BSA back in farm again. When some Muta come to England, him feel the spirit now. All right, so him start to video the whole thing. We want to thank Mandingo. We live one hear Mandingo on the radio, them hours a morning here, where we're there at Jamaica. We want to heal up DJ Kemar, who's sitting for Shane. And we know so we will be back here from, where we said, 7 o'clock.
Yes. Yes.
England time.
Yes.
And it's 4 hours of that. And now it's 1:48. And over here is 6:48. This is the cutting edge. And I